stuff about the theft from the outlet malls?
No.
So we had a car go in there. They stole a bunch of crap from. Oh shit.
Actually, walk by me in case he's a hot.
She's like 3 minutes out if you want to.
Okay. Hey, thanks for your hospitality.
All right, these are his talking points, correct?
Yeah,
All right, I'm going to
correct.
put hers under there.
All right, if everybody wants to start taking your seats, this will be the 2-minute warning. Got quiet really quick. All right. Hey, man. Here you go. Let's see.
Everybody good? Okay, good evening, or sorry, good afternoon, and welcome to the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office. Excited today to announce, of course, a new initiative that we're running, of course, fronting with the Attorney General here in the state of Florida. And this is something, of course, my wife and I envisioned when we had the program originally back when I was the Chief of Police with St. Augustine Beach back in 2013. So as the Attorney General gets up here today, of course, to announce, of course, and introduce Russ, who's going to take this program and lead it in a great direction here. There's a few things, of course, with this initiative we're actually taking on. And with that being said, this is protecting our senior citizens from exploitation. It's our priority here in St. Johns County. Far too often, these citizens are victimized for exploitation, fraud, schemes, scams. In 2022, seniors across America, $3.1 billion were actually taken from our seniors across the United States. SJSO is partnering with the Attorney General's office. Again, Attorney General Ashley Moody is here today to bring this Seniors versus Crime initiative here to St. Johns County. Seniors versus Crime is a special initiative at the Attorney General's office, which has been very successful. And again, I want to recognize some people here today that are representing, of course, Osceola and Fernandina Beach and other parts in Volusia here today from the same initiative that's going on in your counties. Thank you for joining us here today. These are specially trained volunteers that assist our seniors who basically are being victimized and being taken advantage of. SJSO will provide our office space, our equipment. Again, this initiative is coming from the Attorney General's office, and we're going to take the lead and give them the proper office space to work out of. With that being said, our Seniors versus Crime will be based in our South Regional Operations Center, but they will have access to all 28 facilities across the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office, meaning that they'll have access to meet with these victims and these witnesses, of course, and to gain the proper information. The volunteers will have access to the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office, as well as working with other detectives that work in our crimes, of course, property crimes, and our other initiatives that actually work for Seniors versus Crimes. The team will have, again, all these resources under one roof, but the best thing is this: our deputies, our detectives, and our seniors will work hand in hand to solve these initiatives and solve these problems and solve these crimes. So that being said, I want to introduce our Attorney General, your Attorney General, who is one of the best partners, ma'am, and a friend of Kendall and I can't thank you enough. She's not going to be happy because I'm going to read the full bio, Attorney General. Ashley Moody is, of course, our Attorney General, a fifth-generation Floridian who was born and raised in Plant City, Florida. She attended the University of Florida, where she earned her bachelor's, her master's, and her law degree. She later attended Stetson University, the College of Law, and earned a master's in international law. Attorney General Ashley Moody began her legal career with a law firm of Holland and Knight, where she practiced commercial litigation. In her spare time, she volunteered assisting domestic violence victims seeking protection in court. She subsequently joined the United States Attorney's Office, prosecuting drug, firearm, and fraud cases. While a federal prosecutor, Attorney General Moody was commended by the DEA for prosecutorial excellence and outstanding initiative in drug law enforcement. She was also recognized by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement for her lead of Operation Roundup, a targeted prosecution of violent and repeat offenders. In 2006, I'm not going to say her age because you'll do the math, Attorney General Ashley Moody became the youngest judge in Florida when she was elected circuit court judge in Hillsborough County, Florida, in the 13th Judicial Circuit. As a judge, she founded the ad litem program, recruiting volunteer attorneys to stand up in place of parents who did not appear in court with their children. She also developed a mentoring program for the at-risk children within the juvenile delinquency system. Attorney General Moody served as the adjunct professor at Stetson University College of Law and on the judicial faculty for Florida's New Judge College, Advanced Judicial Studies, and the Circuit Judges Conference. She was a frequent lecturer on crime and justice, as well as best practices for Florida attorneys. In 2015, Attorney General Moody was recognized by the National Legal Services Corporation for her significant contributions to pro bono legal work and services, and was awarded the Florida Supreme Court's Distinguished Judicial Service Award. On January 8th of 2019, Attorney General Moody became Florida's 38th Attorney General. Since taking office as Attorney General Moody has been recognized as a leader, having served as a commissioner on the Presidential Commission on Law Enforcement and the Administration of Justice, as a chair of Florida's statewide task force on opioid abuse, which, thank you, ma'am, I served side by side with her representing the Florida House, and continues to serve as chair of Florida's statewide council on human trafficking. Last but not least, Attorney General Moody and her husband, Justin, a federal law enforcement agent, have two sons, Brandon and Connor. Without further ado, thank you for this partnership, Attorney General. Again, Kendall and I and the entire St. Johns County Sheriff's Office and our entire St. Johns County population are honored and privileged to have you here today.
Thank you,
yes,
Sheriff.
ma'am, thank you.
Thank you. Sheriff Kendall, thank you so much. He's going to be in trouble for reading that whole introduction. I don't know where he got that from. We're going to have to fix that, because this announcement needs to be way longer than that introduction. Sheriff, thank you so much. You're a great partner and a great friend. What a great day today is, an exciting announcement for St. Johns County. St. Johns County had a Seniors v. Crime effort, but for the last few years, if anybody was a senior and felt they had been taken advantage of, they had to drive to Nassau County to see someone in person. And the Seniors v. Crime initiative, which was started many, many years ago and has really, really helped law enforcement around the state, is meant to have folks that volunteer to personally engage with seniors to determine exactly what they feel has happened to them or how they've been taken advantage of. Get to the bottom of it. Maybe go and see and discuss it with a merchant or a retailer or someone who has convinced them to outlay money, and determine, is this just something that there was a miscommunication? Is this a deceptive and unfair trade practice? Or is this a crime? And what that does for our law enforcement officials is it allows them to keep their resources focused on investigating crimes. And so we have volunteers, many of them have previously served in law enforcement roles, as you will hear from Russ Bear today. He has stepped up to lead the Seniors v. Crime effort in St. Johns County. But what it allows the Seniors v. Crime representatives to do is engage with the seniors, determine what's really going on, spend the time that is needed with them to get to the bottom of it, hear their story, engage with their family members, and then refer it and work with the appropriate agency within the state of Florida. And so whether that's a crime where they're going to be working with the deputies, a fraud, a scam, a scheme that needs criminal prosecution, whether that's a deceptive and unfair trade practice that we're going to have our civil attorneys step in and investigate and go after, or whether or not they just need someone to help them figure this out and get to the bottom of it through our Seniors v. Crime volunteers. This helps in an enormous way, and it takes so much of the work pressure and manpower from the deputies and the sheriffs. We need them on the roads. We need them protecting citizens. We need them making sure that their resources are used efficiently. This helps us in immeasurable ways, and we're so grateful, Sheriff, that you had the forethought to re-engage this amazing project, Seniors v. Crime, which is a 501c3 made up of volunteers across the state of Florida. Bring it back to St. Johns County, support it with resources and enthusiasm. We know with your supervision, this is never going to linger, and they will only be successful, because I can hear it in your voice. You're determined to make sure that this Seniors v. Crime office is a success. So today is a great announcement, not just for St. Johns County, but for the seniors here in this county. As you know, Florida has a very large per capita population of seniors in this country. So many are moving here to live out their golden years. We would expect no less. We're very proud of this state. Seniors, as well as everybody else, seems to want to move to our state these days, and we welcome that. We have the most net in migration of any other state in this nation. But when seniors choose Florida to live, we want them to be able to live out their golden years and feel safe and secure, and know that they have people that are out there looking out for them and that will help them should the unthinkable happen and they're taken advantage of. In St. Johns County right now, we have 300,000 people living here, and more than 65 of those residents are seniors, more than 21% of the population. And so it makes sense that this sheriff's office and this county would have a dedicated team of volunteers to help those seniors navigate the marketplace and then sometimes, and in many times, bad actors that are looking to take advantage of them. So I want to again thank the Sheriff Hardwick, for recognizing this vital tool and the need specifically for this county and opening an office right here in St. Johns County. We will have volunteer, we call them senior sleuths, that are assigned to cases and complaints as they come in. So Russ Bear, I know you used to be formerly with the DEA, and you were a managing agent in this country for the DEA, but you are now a managing super sleuth. So I just want you to know that. I actually think that is a promotion. So we are, no, I can say that because I am the wife of a DEA agent. Unfortunately, seniors are often the target of scammers and fraudsters hoping to make a quick buck. And I just want to put this in perspective. We know that from the Federal Trade Commission, the average amount of money that a senior will lose as a result of a scam, if they're 70 to 79, is $800. And if they're over 80, it's going to be $1,500 per scam. And I know if you've been in law enforcement a long time, and I can see many of you sitting here right now with your badges and your uniforms, many of you are in law enforcement, you understand that this has become commonplace, not just in Florida, but around the nation. And specifically for not just Sheriff Hardwick, but others, we have to continuously be proactive in fighting back against this. And that's why since taking office, protecting seniors has been a priority of mine. I had a mother who dedicated her entire professional career to helping seniors, poor seniors throughout Florida, protect themselves and navigate our system. And I know that's where your heart is, Sheriff, and Kendall, you as well, and we're just so grateful to you. Now deputies will be able to work hand in hand with the senior sleuths, get information from them, know where they need to target their efforts, and they can handle these specific cases as needed, as they come up and as they are vetted. And that is why Seniors v. Crime was created, so that we would be able to address a larger swath of these cases than would be able to be handled without the volunteers that stepped up around the state. And we're just so grateful to them. Just to brag on these folks that have just come forward and said, I want to be helpful. I want to use the talents and experience I've garnered throughout my career, and I want to volunteer and be helpful to help my community. And I think so much of that, just for folks that are willing to do that as people, and certainly law enforcement officers that have seen it all and been through the ringer throughout their careers, that even when they retire, they don't just step back and say, I can't do it anymore. So many of them stay engaged on a volunteer basis, and it's just so inspiring to me as I continue to work with them as the Attorney General. So let me brag a little bit about these volunteers. This program, which started originally as a small project with a couple of volunteers to go out and help on some of these cases as they came up, and you know, scams or mistreatment of seniors, it has ballooned into a statewide organization. It's grown exponentially. We now have over 140 active volunteers and 32 offices around the state. This will add to that effort in so many ways. Just last year, the senior sleuths assisted this is showing my age. I could not read that. 8,000, not 6,000, 8,000 Florida seniors, and provided more than 25,000 hours of free services. Just last year, they were able to recover $2.4 million in financial relief or realized gains for Florida seniors. That is a lot of money, and it very possibly may not have been recovered if we didn't have these volunteers stepping in to help on the front lines. And this is not the first time that they have put up these kinds of numbers. Since I took office, we've recovered approximately $7.9 million in recoveries, refunds, realized gains, and savings for seniors. 90,000 hours of free service that they've provided since 2019. So you can just hear in those numbers, and I'm not one to just rattle off stats, but I think sometimes it's very meaningful to put something in a way that we can measure. This has had a real impact on seniors living in our state. And Florida truly is the state where we say we're a law and order state. We want to go after everything, even the smallest of transactions if we can, and we have the resources to do it. We're going to be proactive. We're going to handhold and make sure people feel taken care of and protected, and they have somebody corresponding with them and helping them solve problems. So this is a great announcement for St. Johns County. It's a great announcement for the state of Florida. We are proud to be one of the state that boasts of the highest senior citizens in the nation per capita. I think it sets us apart as a place where people want to be to live out their golden years. I'm very proud of that, and I'm also very proud of the efforts, not just of my own attorneys, but from law enforcement and Seniors v. Crime around this state that has stepped forward and stood strong to protect our seniors. It's so very important, and it indeed makes us a stronger and safer state. So thank you again, Sheriff, and without further ado, I'll bring up the new super senior sleuth in charge, Russ Bear.
Well, thank you for those kind words, Attorney General Moody. Really appreciate that. We're excited to be here in St. Johns County. Thank you for your sustained commitment to this project. We're excited for the Seniors versus Crime leadership team that is also supporting us. I can't thank you enough, Sheriff Hardwick. Your strategic vision, your availability, and your genuineness in supporting not only the project and the initiative, but the senior community here in St. Johns County. We really, I can't express my thanks enough to you, your leadership team, the financial crimes detectives and administrative support staff, community engagement team. Everybody has been phenomenally supportive, and we appreciate the support. We're ready to dive in and support the senior community here in St. Johns County. Thank you.
In respect to the Attorney General's time, we are going to take a few questions, but I made a commitment to her that we're going to keep her on her tight timeline and schedule today. Any questions at all from the media or anybody else in the audience?
Yeah, if you don't mind, can you specify what this means to St. Johns County? Like, how often are we getting calls and scams? What kind of calls are they, and how is this going to help the seniors specifically here? I know we got the statewide and the nationwide stats, but what does the problem look like here, and how is this going to directly address it?
Sure. So absolutely. So, the big thing in St. Johns County is, with our property crimes unit, which entails our financial crimes unit too as well, these men and women that work in that actually unit are physically getting kicked in the teeth, meaning that we're overloaded with property type crimes, and these schemes and scams and embezzlements that are attacking our most vulnerable. This is going to give us something else. This brings people that are passionate, they're volunteering to come here and give their time. He is surrounding himself with other men and women that are wanting to do the same thing. Their career's not over with yet, but they want to give back a little bit more with nothing in return. They're asking for nothing in return. They ask for a polo. That's what they're asking for. And with that being said, of course, as we continue to grow in population in the state of Florida, I mean, who doesn't want to live in the great state of Florida with our leadership team now currently in Tallahassee? Everybody does. So that being said, we got to prepare ourselves to be able to go ahead and handle every one of these schemes that are coming in. And the problem is, as you will talk to my detectives today, they'll tell you, a lot of these schemes, a lot of these frauds and these suspects are in foreign countries. They're hiding behind AI. There's other things they're actually hiding behind where it's harder and harder to solve. So again, triaging these cases, working hand in hand with the detectives of the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office, we're gonna get, by the way, I could go through case after case, which we recently actually released on a radio show, of how much money our property crimes detectives have actually brought back to victims here in St. Johns County. So again, it's just, it's one of those things where it's a great partnership starting with Tallahassee with our Attorney General, Ashley Moody, and of course now down here under Russ Bear. I guess it's the senior sleuth is the correct term? Is that the correct term for you?
Oh, yeah.
The senior sleuth.
But so I guess, is it too hard to kind of put a number on how often this is actually happening here in St. Johns County?
Sure. So when I was the chief of police at St. Augustine Beach, this program was actually at St. Augustine Beach for St. Johns County. And when I became the sheriff, of course, the program kind of went away. It kind of moved down to Flagler County. We have identified now, based on our current trends in crime, meaning a significant increase in our property crimes. Our theft crimes continue to go up. And I guess that's going to happen with property, of course, with population growth. But it's also going to happen, of course, when you add more commercial property, more commercial real estate, of course, you're going to have more victims, basically, of those types of crimes. So we have all that data that we get reported monthly, but now we get to break it down, of course, with these volunteers working with these victims on these serious crimes.
And how much money is going to go into this program?
So again, as I said earlier, we have office space in our South Regional Operations Center. It's really not a lot of overhead because we have, additionally, we continue to grow. And of course, the county commission is so good to the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office. We have substations going up. Every fire station has a substation. In there, there's an office space, an interview room, a break area for our deputy sheriffs and detectives. So that being said, again, not a whole lot of actually money is going into it, except for, of course, their time, their effort. We're going to provide them with any equipment, computers, but really it's that relationship with our detectives that are already full-time employees here. Thank you. Anybody else? Thank you for coming today. Ashley, again, Attorney General, thank you for your time. Merry Christmas, and God bless you and your staff, and thank you for our great partnership. And Russ, good luck. Thank you.
That's a good